in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and there is none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. Shake, Lord, I feel like preaching. Shake your neighbor by the hand and say, I've got the divine protection of God. Hallelujah. For I heard Isaiah chapter number 43, round about verse number 2. The prophet writes there and says, when thou passest through the waters, he says, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, he says you won't be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. I'm planted in a promise of protection, according to Luke chapter number 10 and verse 19. I'm sorry, I'm a Bible preacher. Luke declares in the 10th chapter, it says, behold, I give unto you power. Shake your neighbor by the hand and say, oh neighbor, he gave me power over the enemy. He said, behold, I give unto you power to tread over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means harm you. Shake your neighbor by the hand and tell him, neighbor, I'm planted in a promise of protection. That's why I couldn't die, because I'm protected by the sovereignty of God. That's why I keep slipping out of the hand of the enemy, because I'm planted in the promise of protection. Yeah, Lord, is there anybody in the room that can lift your hands and say, I'm planted in a promise? Yeah, grab your neighbor by the hand, shake that neighbor by the hand, shake that neighbor's hand like you're gonna shake their teeth out their mouth. Shake them and tell them, I'm planted in a promise. I may not understand the season that I'm in, but I'm planted in a promise. My belief is under attack, but I'm planted in a promise. The intensity of my warfare seemed to me more than I can handle, but I'm planted in a promise. My assignment seemed to be more than I can bear, but I'm planted in a promise. I'm in a season of affliction and a season of sickness, but I'm planted in a promise. I may be living in a season of lack and not enough, but you're planted in a promise. You may be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually exhausted, but I came tonight to tell somebody that you're planted in a promise. They lied on you and lied to you, but you're planted in a promise. Your heart been broken, but you're planted in a promise. I wish I had somebody in the room tonight that'll lift your hand and say, I'm planted in a promise. He gave me a promise, and a promise is a promise. Shake your neighbor by the hand and tell them, neighbor, I got a promise over my life.